This is pretty different from my usual content, but I thought it'd be fun to go over how I made my VTuber model and just generally the processes that I went through. So this is me making the background. I modeled it in Blender and then just painted over it because I can't draw backgrounds. And this is me figuring out how to simulate a beanbag. I could not figure it out. I don't work a lot with simulations besides like the occasional hair or cloth. But this was fun to figure out. But yeah, I just used Blender. I'm mainly a game dev. I brought that up a few times on my channel. But yeah, I make games, and I usually use Blender for it, so I was just using, my Blender experience. Sorry if you can hear the dog barking in the background. It's fine. Ignore it. But yeah, just a little, like, attic thing. Part of my VTuber lore is she, like, lives in an attic and shit, so I thought a cute little, like, cozy attic would be fun to model. So that's mainly what it is. I just did like basic colors for the materials, and then I just like painted the more intricate stuff later. Oh, that was my cat purring directly into the mic. um, yeah, I'm just doing this without a script, so I'm figuring that out. This is me figuring out the lighting. I did want to light it a little bit so it could help me with the eventual painting and such. Hi, kitty. You're so cute. Hello, he's being very snuggly right now. But yeah, this was a pretty quick and easy process. I find props quite easy. I mean, that's probably tough talk for someone who can't do machinery, but most props, like household props, are pretty simple, very quick. So that's, yeah, just kind of what I did. And that is just like a quick little handle to the attic. I figure, I don't know, something neat. And then, yeah, I just rendered it out real quick. And then I imported it to Photoshop and started, like, painting over. I love painting wood grain. It's weirdly fun. On a game that I helped, or, like, I was art lead on, I insisted on hand-painted textures, and there's a lot of wood in that game. And that's how I learned to love painting wood. It's just, like, straight lines or spiralies and shit, and it's fun. So yeah, it's just a lot of color picking and then just like painting and just trying to like get it to what I was wanted. It was a little lazy, but the effect works. I mean, it isn't lazy because I made it all, but still, like, I can't draw backgrounds. So, if people can use pre-made models and it's fine, I can make my own models and it'd be fine. Okay, yeah, I think I'm just painting a window. Sorry, I'm just watching the footage and trying to comment. I didn't know how to write a script for this, so this is just what I'm doing. I often break things up into a bunch of layers when drawing. I find it helps me, especially if I want to make adjustments later, or like section out things like I am here to paint the window and such. It's quite helpful. Okay, here I'm just like painting the back of the wood grain to really get that paneling looking right. Yeah, there's some things like brick and wood too, like putting the little highlights on top to just give it that 3D-ness. It's so easy, but it's so fun and neat. I really like doing it. And then here is just me whipping out some wood grain onto it, I think on a multiply layer. Multiply layers, my beloved, they are magic. Yeah, you can see how little I've kind of painted over, but that's fine. What am I making here? I don't know what the fuck this is. Oh, this is the model. I was like, what? When did we switch to this? Okay, I struggled so much with this model. Like just getting things looking right. I think I redrew it quite a few times. And then I fixed it since, but my pen was doing this thing where it was like leaving little dots everywhere. And that got really annoying. It ended up being my pen was calibrated wrong, and I had to like take it apart. So that was a pain in the ass to work with, but I managed it. So here I think I ended up working with a symmetry modifier, just because I was a little fed up. If I can work with symmetry in 3D models, I can do it in my drawings, okay? So yeah, that's just me blocking out the anatomy. I always make things like too big on the page and have to size them down. Though I didn't do a full body for this character because I never you never see a VTuber's full body unless they're specifically just like showing it off. So I just did like thighs up because, save some work, save some time, and I don't data. I don't know if the modeling quite works the same. Because, some of it, like you'll see later, you basically turn it into a bunch of flat meshes and rig it. So I think it's a similar idea. Maybe. I'm not so sure on the technicals of it. But yeah, I didn't really change up the outfit at all. I do have an alternate outfit for the character, just a little fancy dress. But I just did the same jacket and stuff. I have stopped drawing the. I used to draw with a gas mask, but I stopped that because it limits some expression, and I want to be able to do those YouTuber thumbnails when I draw. So yeah, no more gas mask. And also, no glasses. I go back and forth on the glasses. I wear glasses in real life. So, sometimes I draw her with, round sunglasses or my own, rectangular glasses. That's also a thing I go back and forth on. Because this is just me, but recolored. But with more interesting lore about, radiation and shit. So yeah, this looks like I probably don't finish it. How lopsided that is. Yeah, this is definitely not the final. I probably did this a million times because I want it to be perfect because I'm gonna stick with this at least a year, So I wanted it to be as good as I can. There's no perfect in art, but still, yeah, why is she leaning like that? There's me turning on symmetry. I got fed up. Yeah, so pretty quick from here. My art style has been, flip-flopping a lot recently. I haven't been sure. I don't know, I feel every thumbnail just looks different. I draw my thumbnails, but some of them look like it's a completely different person drawn, and I don't know why. I've been trying to figure out my art style, especially I'm trying to get better all the time. And I feel like my 3D and my realism are always getting better. But my stylized stuff, I've been trying to figure out how to make it feel nice. It's hard. But this, I went back and forth on just doing anime, like most VTubers, or just my style. I don't even know what I went with here, because it's not quite my style, and it's also not quite anime. It's a weird amalgamation that I just kind of whipped out. But I do try to draw myself with those big round eyes. I like using shape language, especially with the eyes, to convey personality. And I feel like the sort of personality I convey, at least in my YouTube stuff, big round eyes helps. I don't know. I feel like I've got I don't know. I try to be nice and bubbly. I try. I don't know if I am. I don't know. I can be a little mean on accident, but I try not to be. I don't know if this is a weird thing to point out, but I always like to draw myself flat-chested. I don't know why. It just feels weird to draw myself with with boobs. I mean, I started this when I was under 18, so that was part of it. As I just didn't want to be seen. Not that boobs are inherently sexual, but I don't know, just being seen as that just makes me more comfortable. I don't know. I guess this is. I probably sometimes when I'm doing stuff like this, I'll do some stuff off camera. It just, I don't know, feels more relaxed that way. So I guess I just did an eye and the mouth here. Wow, I spaced out for a moment. The mouth, pretty simple, just top lip, bottom lip, teeth, back of the mouth, a tongue. This time I'm actually putting the blush on a separate layer because on my old model it was on the same layer as the face and it made some perspective stuff hard. So I made sure to separate that out this time. And the eyes actually ended up solid because on my old model there were weird little holes in my eye. And I, like, in the texture stuff, it was fine. But for some reason for some reason when I would, like, export it, it just would not fill that out. It was like little holes in the alpha or something. Yeah, I'm not sure why it did that. Nose, pretty simple, just a couple of lines. I was gonna do like that thing where when you turn, you can see the silhouette of like the almost like upside down question mark shape of the nose, but I ended up not doing that. Turning when rigging is such a pain in the butt. I haven't quite figured it out because you got to make sure like the perspective looks nice and it all like moves at once. 2D rigging is such an interesting ballpark. I feel like it does feel a little easier than 3D rigging, but it still has its own challenges. And especially after I've discovered Rigify, like, it is a little harder just because Rigify makes everything so easy. And, oh my god, I'm realizing I've got, like, this character has, like, a Dragon Ball Z-ass forehead. That's okay. It gets covered up by bangs anyway, it's fine. I like to paint the eyelids behind the eye, because I don't like when anime characters, like, close their eye and the top of their eyelid, like, moves down with it. It doesn't makes sense. So I just paint the eyelid behind the eye so when it closes it looks like just like the eyelid is staying there and just, staying the same size, just like crinkling up and moving down, if that makes any sense. I think I'm just sorting layers here. Oh, I guess I already drew the torso. There's the torso. I did paint like a naked body so I could do new clothes on top of that. So that's how I did the dress and stuff. And I guess I'm starting on the hair too. The hair was fun because before old model, I just did bangs in the back of the hair. And this one I split up into like a whole bunch of locks so I could, get that nice like hair sway. It was interesting to get all consistent, but it was fun. I just like drawing. I mean, makes sense. I'm an artist. I would like art. But yeah, making sure I get the black to green gradient consistent among each lock and stuff, and making sure the shading and stuff was consistent. Yeah, I think I broke it up into 3 sections, like the short little front bangs, and then the long side pieces, and then like the back, and then I also broke it up between like left and right. A lot of my game development stuff came into like how I name stuff, like _R, _L at the end of things. I don't know, I feel like game development really helps me with making VTubers because it's a lot of similar concepts. And here is the rigging. Speaking of similar concepts, I'm just turning everything into like a mesh. Oh, that's me looking up tutorials. Whoops. Okay, I guess I looked some stuff up to figure it out, but I just kind of skipped past it. This is me trying to figure out how the face like moves, because the chin, like, I like to draw that little, like, chin bump. Like, your chin juts forward a little bit underneath your mouth. So, trying to figure out, like, how that becomes visible as you turn your head was interesting. Yeah, I really struggled with the head turning, I think, was the hardest bit. Because I know the concepts of, like, perspective and how the planes of the face change, but really, like, animating that and making it work after, like, morphing things between each side was really interesting. I see why, like, anime style is really helpful for that, because I did end up later doing just a side, like, Hatsune Miku model just to practice more, and the little nose is so easy to do perspective wise. You don't have to worry about the complex like shapes of the nostrils and stuff, because anime girls don't have noses. You think they breathe? No. Yeah, and you see me flipping back and forth between one of the base models to see how it works. And like I get the basic concept. Like I can make it look like a plane moving up and down, but it doesn't look like a 3D structure, you know? It just looks like a piece of paper like moving up and down as you twist it. So it's really the annoying bit is getting that roundness and the complexness of like the planes of the face as they like move and eclipse one another and stuff. Like one difficult thing is like the nose bridge like will cover up part of your eye as you turn your head. I'm like demonstrating it. You can't see it. I don't know why I do this. Yeah, like getting it to like part of the eye to just hide. It it's hard to do without it just looking funky. Just and also making the eye not look like it's like bent like card. Like I'm trying to give the eye that roundness because it is like a sphere and it like pokes out of your face and like the eyelids indent and stuff. But it also sometimes when I'm moving it around, it ends up just looking like if you take a piece of paper and squeeze the edges, how like the middle like pops up and it's like a arch. It ended up looking more like that, like disattached from the face rather than like a sphere embedded into it. So it was difficult. I don't even know if anything I'm saying makes sense. I'm trying to figure this out. Oh, I just clipped the mic. Sorry. Yeah, then with the nose, like making sure the nostrils change size. I keep like touching my face, and I'm probably like covering my mouth from the mic, but I'm just like demonstrating, even though you can't see. I talk with my hands. um, oh yeah, the eye closing. That was interesting to really figure that out. I do think it ended up better than last time. I keep comparing it to last time, but you know, I feel like I came a long way in that year, even though having not done anything with Vtuber rigging sense, it's still like improved sense. I really wanted to get some like shocked eyes in there because I kept meaning to with the previous model because I opened my eyes wide a lot to emphasize things. So I feel like having my model be able to emulate that a little bit. Like I don't have the best tracking, so it's not great, but still like being able to show the way I emphasize things and I'm a theater kid. I did theater, so I'm like overly expressive and like animated. So being able to emulate that in my model is nice. Brows were pretty easy. They don't track super well, so I didn't spend too much time on them. They're just like, I don't know, some stuff. I just learned that you can mirror stuff. So I did all of these and I did like the brows twice. You can mirror it. I just learned that. I didn't have to do all that twice, but I did. Here I think I'm figuring out the breathing or maybe just the turning. I think the body turning ended up turning out pretty good. I think it also doesn't track as well as I'd like it to, but I do think it looks good when in the viewport, so that's neat. Oh, I'm doing the physics. The way the physics works in here is so interesting because you set the far side of each parameter and then it just kind of emulates that with a pendulum. I don't know how it really like works it out, but it's pretty neat. I guess it's just like with a pendulum, it goes between the two, like between the variables, and then it just shows that with the model. So yeah, figuring that out. At first I did it like how I understand it, of like when you move left, your hair goes right because it's like, you know, following you, and then it comes back. And then I figured out no, it already emulates that. It already makes it so it like moves the opposite direction and then comes back when doing the physics. So I ended up redoing it and doing it the proper way. I did end up with the ears doing like some little physics, and then I also tried to do some expression, but I guess the physics and expression kind of combated each other a little bit, so they bounce a little bit. And then I wanted to, like, when I'm sad, like the ears go down, which doesn't make sense with like human ears, they don't move like that, but still, if you've got that much length, I love to just utilize it, you know. But it didn't really work, but I figure bounciness is more fun. And then here's me going, I just put the recordings in order of what they were in the folder, but I guess here's me making the bed, which was already made. So anyways, bit of an unconventional video, but I still thought it'd be fun to make and just like show how I did things, because like my main thing is art. I also like playing video games, but I thought it'd be fun to just show off like my expertise, you know. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe and let me know if you want to see like other stuff in the future. Probably not more creative stuff, more like games and stuff. So yeah, subscribe, comment, have a lovely, lovely day.